The internet has created a new type of believer, a person who begins by joking about insanity and slowly ends up living inside it. It starts harmlessly enough, posting memes ironically, repeating conspiracy theories for fun, pretending to believe in absurd ideas because it is entertaining, talking about gang stalking, glowies, simulation theory, demonic symbolism hidden in advertisements, the black pill, the end of civilization. At first, none of it is serious. At least that is what people tell themselves. But after enough repetition, something strange begins to happen. The irony starts dissolving. The joke stops feeling like a joke. And eventually, the person can no longer tell whether they truly believe these things or not. This is irony poisoning. And the modern internet may be manufacturing it at a massive scale. To understand irony poisoning, you first have to understand the culture of the modern internet. Sincerity online is dangerous. If you speak too honestly, people mock you. If you care too much, you are cringe. If you express vulnerability, people weaponize it against you. So people adapt. They hide behind layers of irony, humor, memes, and attachment. Nothing is ever fully serious. Nothing is ever fully a joke. This creates a strange psychological gray zone where people can safely express ideas without fully committing to them. A person can post something insane and always retreat behind, "Relax bro, it's just a meme." But the human brain is not designed to endlessly repeat ideas without being influenced by them. Even ironic behavior shapes perception over time, especially when combined with isolation and constant exposure. Memes are not just jokes. They are compressed belief systems. Tiny ideological packages repeated thousands of times until they bypass critical thinking and settle directly into the subconsciousness. This is why internet language spreads so aggressively. Terms like NPC, blackpill, cope, based, glowy, brain rot, fed posting, psyop. These are not just words anymore. They shape how people interpret reality itself. Once someone begins viewing the world through meme terminology, their perception changes. A failed interaction becomes proof of the black pill. Disagreement becomes evidence someone is an NPC. Institutional distrust evolves into paranoia about hidden actors and psyops. Coincidences become signs of deeper patterns. Eventually, memes stop describing reality. They begin replacing it. And once that happens, irony evolves into ideology. Schizoposting is one of the clearest examples of this phenomenon. People post fragmented conspiracy theories, spiritual paranoia, numerology, occult symbolism, hyper-pattern recognition, and detached streams of consciousness mixed with humor. At first glance, it looks absurd, and sometimes it is. But what makes schizoposting fascinating is that it exists in a blurry space between comedy, philosophy, mental illness, and genuine existential fear. That ambiguity gives it power, because hidden inside the humor are real emotional tensions, distrust of institutions, fear of manipulation, social alienation, loss of meaning, technological anxiety, spiritual confusion. The schizo poster feels like someone desperately trying to explain a world that no longer feels coherent. And when enough isolated people gather together reinforcing these ideas, the line between performance and belief begins collapsing. People who once joked about gang stalking start interpreting random events as evidence. People who ironically called everything a psyop begin genuinely distrusting all information. People who mocked paranoid thinking slowly train themselves into paranoia. The role becomes reality. Human beings are naturally drawn towards hidden explanations, especially during periods of uncertainty. A chaotic world is psychologically uncomfortable. People want patterns, narratives, meaning, and the internet offers infinite explanations. Nothing is allowed to simply happen anymore. Everything becomes connected to secret agendas, occult symbols, elites, algorithms, simulation theory, social engineering, or unseen systems controlling reality. And to be fair, sometimes institutions do manipulate people. Corporations do exploit attention. Governments do lie. Algorithms do shape perception. But irony poisoning thrives in the space between legitimate skepticism and total psychological consumption. Because once a person begins assuming there is a hidden layer beneath reality, they can become trapped endlessly searching for a deeper and deeper meaning. The world transforms into an infinite puzzle, and eventually they stop living life altogether because they are too busy decoding it. One of the darkest aspects of irony poisoning is emotional detachment. The poisoned individual struggles to engage sincerely with anything. Politics becomes memes, relationships become transactions, religion becomes aesthetics, morality becomes irony, existence itself becomes content. Nothing feels fully real anymore, only observed. This is why many chronically online people sound strangely disconnected from their own emotions. They analyze everything from a distance like spectators trapped outside reality. Constant irony creates emotional armor, but armor worn too long eventually fuses to the body, and after enough time, people forget how to speak honestly at all. They become trapped inside a permanent performance. The terrifying thing is that the internet actively rewards this behavior. Extreme content spreads faster than grounded content. Paranoia is engaging. Fear is engaging. Mystery is engaging. A calm, mentally stable person rarely goes viral. But someone ranting about hidden patterns, societal collapse, spiritual warfare, or simulated reality, that captures attention instantly. The algorithms do not care whether something is healthy, only whether it keeps people watching. And for isolated individuals searching for meaning, these communities can become all-consuming, especially because they offer something modern life increasingly lacks: belonging. Even delusion can feel comforting when shared collectively. The final stage of irony poisoning is when a person loses the ability to separate observation from obsession. Everything begins feeding the worldview. Every coincidence becomes evidence. Every symbol becomes intentional. Every contradiction becomes proof of hidden forces. The person becomes trapped in a self-reinforcing psychological maze. And ironically, the deeper they believe they are seeing into reality, the more disconnected from reality they often become. Not because they are stupid, but because the human mind is not built to process infinite information, infinite suspicion, and infinite abstraction without eventually distorting itself. The internet effectively turned millions of people into amateur detectives investigating existence itself. And some people never come back from the search. Maybe the greatest danger of irony poisoning is not that people believe false things. It is that they stop believing in anything sincerely at all. Every idea becomes contaminated by detachment, every emotion filtered through humor, every truth buried beneath layers of irony and suspicion. The modern internet trained people to treat reality itself like a meme, and somewhere along the way, many forgot that they were supposed to actually live in it. Maybe that is why so many people today feel spiritually lost. Not because they failed to find hidden truth, but because they became addicted to searching for it.